did taste good. At last, Father said, now it's time to open the gifts.
Ray, what are you thankful for?
I love you.
You love me? You're thankful for love?
Mm-hmm.
I am too. I like love.
Hello guys, so I just got done with school and I am actually glad that I got done. I didn't get nothing wrong, except for I got one wrong. Yeah, I think so. But, look guys. So I just got done with 51 day, and Merry Christmas. We actually have our Christmas tree up, and we got everything set up. Man, if you come to our house, you would love our Christmas lights, and that's what I wanted to say. Bye.
Hey y'all, welcome to Stivers Homestead. I'm Zach.
And I'm Jen.
And today, will our kids hate us when they get older?
Yeah. So it's kind of an emotional subject for us. The way that we live is a little bit different. Well, not a little bit. It's a lot. It's a lot different.
Not to you all.
No, not to you
general
all. You
public,
all understand
right?
this, and most of you grew up this way.
Mm-hmm.
So you've already been through it. You've already done it. Some of you are raising your kids this way now, but the majority of you have already done this and already feel one way or another towards your parents and how you were raised. We're right in the thick of it. I am 30, he's 30, and we have a 6-year-old and a 4-year-old. Our kids are very young. They're very little. We are trying for a third, hoping for that, hoping to expand our family. But we're right in the thick of it. We're right in those days where the kids are starting to, well, they're still little, but they're starting to get a little bit older, starting to ask questions, starting to notice a little bit that they're a little bit different than everyone else and people that they see growing up beside them. So questions are starting to come into play.
Yeah. You know, my favorite question, it's not awkward to us and it's not awkward to the kids, but the one question that I feel like the kids are going to start looking back and like, why do we do this? Why do people see this weird? It's homeschooling.
Yeah. So
many people just assume that our kids are in school.
Yeah.
So like when we go out to places,
which is rare.
Yeah. When we go out to places, so like say the kids are doing a craft with like
at the library or farmer's market or something.
They're like, now you can show your friends at school.
Yeah. Or now you can tell your friends at school this.
Right. And our kids' immediate response is, we're homeschooled.
Yeah.
And they're not upset about it.
They're
like,
they're loud and proud about it.
Right. Like, why don't you understand that we're homeschooled?
Yeah.
And so right now at this innocent age, they're cool with it, but I can see that getting old to them.
Right.
And so that makes me a little nervous. And it's like, are they going to resent that?
Yeah.
Are they going to wish they could show their friends at school? Because we do a lot of things with friends, but it's not every day like normal public school.
Right.
So with that being said, it's had us reflecting on ourselves. Like, we don't resent this, obviously, because we're living it as we are today. But it might be a little bit that you all don't know truly our childhood.
Yeah.
So for us to understand how our kids are going to grow up, I feel like there's 2 ways it's going to roll.
Yeah.
Love it, hate it, and then come back to loving it.
Yeah.
Because you can't stay away for too long, right?
Yeah.
So tell us about Jennifer. Tell us about your childhood.
Yeah. So I kind of grew up the exact same way that I'm raising my kids now. We had a wood burning stove. You could call us homesteaders. We had animals. We had chickens, the occasional goat, dogs, cats, all that kind of stuff. We had well water. We were homeschooled for a short amount of time, but always wished it was longer. Our kind of aspect that made us different is that we were Jehovah's Witness. So we weren't as in touch with the rest of the world, which relates very much to homesteading and choosing that lifestyle. We weren't a part of the world where we went out all the time and we did this and we did that. We were very, very selective over our friends and our family that we allowed into our lives. We didn't want negative influences, which I think relates completely to what we're doing now. Mm-hmm. We don't just throw our kids out into the world and say, well, you know, public school can watch them. They're qualified. Because I don't think they are. Not saying that they're bad people. I just think that I'm more qualified because I think that God chose me to be their mother and to raise them and to teach them and to get them ready for the world. I don't think that anyone else can do that better than I can. So our kids see us. They're homeschooled at home. They see their grandparents, which is my mom and his mom, your dad sometimes, your grandparents sometimes. And other than that, that's it. Wyatt has played the occasional sport where he was very shortly involved in that, but that was for fun. I never looked at them like they were supposed to take care of him for that amount of time or teach him something or raise him in that way. I believe that is solely our responsibility. The grandparents do an awesome job raising them as well, but as far as that goes, that is him and I's job and our job only. I believe that we were chosen to have them and teach them everything that they need to know to be able to fly out into the world later on. Unpopular opinion, probably, but
I don't think it's unpopular. It's just a personal opinion, and because and what she's saying, it's our views. It's not what we think of others. We don't. There's not an ounce of us that looks at another family and like, you're not raising your kids the way we raise them, and that's a problem.
Right.
There's not even an ounce of that we think, because we know every family is different, and that's perfectly fine. We think that is 100% okay. That there's kids in public school or private school or homeschooled. All that's fine. We personally feel this way about our children.
One of my favorite terms that I don't want our kids to be is called worldly, which stems from the way that I was raised, but it's still how I feel. We are Christian. We believe in Jesus and we go to church and all that.
Yeah, and that might be something to clarify, because we're not Jehovah's Witnesses.
I was just raised that way. Yeah. But that worldly is a negative term to me. I don't want our kids to be worldly. I don't want them to be caught up in the rest of the world, because I don't think that they will succeed that way. I think that they need to be raised this way and be whole-rounded people and be able to either embrace this lifestyle later on or go their separate way. And either is fine, but I believe that raising them like this will make them a whole person.
Yep. And so my childhood was the polar opposite of Jen's. I was raised with, my mom and I, we were raised at my grandmother's house until I was 10. And then my mom, my stepdad, and I moved to this land in the house that's down the hill that you all see sometimes. And that's where I was raised the rest of my life. We didn't do anything. There was no farming. After my great-grandfather passed away, we didn't do any kind of farming. We were just country, I guess you could say. My stepdad tinkered. He was kind of like I always say, he was not perfect at anything, but he was good at a lot of things. So that's where I learned a lot of the stuff that I know when it comes to like woodworking or mechanics or different aspects of that, but nothing to do with livestock or gardening whatsoever. So that was all to her. So we were very on the grid, 100%. There wasn't an ounce of us that wasn't. So this, for me was fairly new, but I always knew that this lifestyle was in me and she just brought it out of me. So from when I look at the kids and when some of the things that kind of brought up like homeschool and, composting toilets and stuff like that, I was like, you're crazy. This is crazy. I'm not doing all that. And then we did it and now I love it. So what we fear is, and it's not even fear, it's we don't want them to run away.
Right.
From the lifestyle that they have, are they going to grow up and listen to others that this is crazy and be like, you all raised me crazy,
and then write a book about us and how crazy their parents
have
are.
Y'all ever seen the movie Glass Castle? Is that what it's called?
Yes.
Yeah, so Glass Castle, now take away the negative stuff of
take
the
away
parents.
the abuse and stuff like that.
Right.
We're not like that.
Right. But the moral of the story was a father and a mother that lived free.
Yes.
They were always family oriented. There wasn't an ounce they didn't do without their family.
Now, sometimes they didn't make the best decisions.
Yes.
And
in the movie, it's extreme.
Yeah.
But in real life, you can relate to just the decisions kind of thing. Maybe not always making the best one. But he always promised a glass castle for his kids. He was going to build a glass castle, and that was kind of the story. Well, he ended up not building a glass castle, but the family was always there. Kids grew up. Every single one of them ran away from
Not
them.
all. Some embrace them and still love them. The majority ran to the city and ended up writing books and songs, and movies about how crazy their parents were. And I think that is my biggest fear. I'm afraid that our kids will one day look back and think, my goodness, how in the world did we grow up? Because we don't know what the world's going to be like.
Right.
By the time that they're 18. I'm afraid that they're going to look back and say, Mommy and Daddy were crazy. And my hope is that they don't. I hope that they end up like you and I, and they turn around and look back and say, wow, our parents didn't have everything, but they made the best of what they had, and they gave us the best life possible and made really good decisions to make us good people.
Yep. So, a lot of fear, right? A lot of fear words. Cat was like hacking up a hairball right on top of me. So a lot of fear words, a lot of things that are rolling through our head on the unpredictable, right? So what are we doing? What are we doing to try to make sure that our kids, at least at some point, understand this lifestyle and maybe, just maybe, someday appreciate this lifestyle and want to do it themselves? First off, love.
Love.
So much.
Always love.
Freaking love.
Yep.
Because that's all this house is. You all see it on a daily basis. This family loves each other.
Yeah.
And that'll never fade whatsoever.
And we're always together.
Right. No matter what lifestyle we live, I don't care if this all went away tomorrow and we had to go live in an apartment downtown. There won't be frowns on this face.
No.
That'll never happen. So that's the first thing that we do to make sure that this family's strong. So no matter when they grow up, no matter what they think about composting toilets and different stuff like that, that's going to be the background of mind. The first thing that they're going to think of is the love in the house.
Yeah.
The second part is the appreciation of what we're doing.
Yes.
So explaining what we're doing, having them a part of what we're doing. So gardening, Raylan and Wyatt, they love being out there. They love picking the tomatoes. They love asking questions about it. So
and at their ages, they know so much.
Yes, they do.
More than I knew at 25,
Right.
26, 27.
Right. I mean, they can tell you about tomato varieties. They can tell you about greenhouses. They know this stuff. They can tell you about watering plants. I mean, they're little gardeners. They're going to be master gardeners if they want to be when they grow up, because they're going to have all the knowledge. So that's the second piece, so love, and then appreciation, and then just understanding. So what her and I talk about a lot is, we want this lifestyle for them, but if they don't choose it, we are okay with that.
Yeah.
We are 100% fine. If they run away and they go to the city, we just will pray that they may come visit us.
Yeah.
Because I know they will.
I pray that they let me raise their grandbabies
Right.
sometimes.
And you know what? I know they will because of rule number 1.
Yeah.
Love. Because no matter the lifestyle,
Right.
they know we love them. We know they love us, and they know that we'll love those grandbabies when that day comes. Because ultimately, folks, that's all that really matters.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you're living in an apartment, it doesn't matter living in a subdivision, or if you're
Under a bridge.
You're under a bridge. If the love is strong, there's no hate.
Yeah.
And that's what it boils down to. So do we fear our kids will hate their childhood? 100% no, because of love.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter what we're doing. We just hope that maybe they like this and understand it, because of course, this is what we love.
Yeah.
So it would be awesome if they wanted to compound with us when we get old and gray and they can start taking over some of the chores. That's, obviously.
Ideally, what would happen?
Right. That's the big dream. But if they don't, it's okay.
Yeah.
We just know that they're going to look back on this childhood, and they might not have been the biggest fans of some of the items, but they're going to have a happy childhood.
And I think ultimately we pray that God instills in their heart the right way to go, whether that be with us in the future or whether that be a completely different lifestyle. We just pray that they head in the right direction and do what they're supposed to do and be the best people that they can be. And pray that they will eventually be homesteaders.
Right. But if not, it's fun too. If they want to go work in the city, they can go work in the city. Because I know sometimes when they come visit me, which is a rare amount of times, but when they come visit, they love being downtown. They love being in a big city and checking it out. That's fine. It's cool. And I hope they do. I hope they go taste it.
Yeah.
You know, that's the big thing. We did.
Yeah.
We both went to college. We lived in the city. We tasted that life. And that's what made us appreciate this life
That's right.
more. So I hope they do go out there and just kind of check it out and not feel like this is all there is, because it makes you just appreciate everything more. So, you know, that's our children. That's everything that we're doing this for. And I know eventually they'll be back.
Yeah, I think so too.
No matter what. It might take them for a while.
Yeah. So to kind of wrap this up, I think honestly the whole reason we're doing this is looking for some encouragement. Because a lot of you all have already been through this.
Mm-hmm.
You've already been through the thick of it, and you will probably have advice for us. You'll have encouraging words with your own stories and what you've been through. So I think that's what we're asking for. You know, just comment and tell us, did you grow up this way? Did you run away from it? Did you go back to it? Did you go up completely different and then you ran to this lifestyle? Just let us know, you know, which direction your kids went in, and send some encouraging words, because the days are long, but the years are short.
Absolutely.
And there are many, many hard times that we've had, and more that we haven't had yet.
Yeah, they're still to come, and we know they are. We're not foolish on that.
The questions will probably get more fun from here. So
yeah. But
just give us some encouraging words and pray for us, and let us know your experience.
Right, and we love to hear your all story. You know, we love to hear y'all's stories just as much as y'all like to hear ours as well. So those stories help all of us out, and that's really fantastic stuff. And, you know, the biggest thing about this is right now, homesteading is a very hot thing. A lot of people are doing it. So for our children and your children, we need to keep this bad boy up.
We do.
Because our kids are 6 and 4. We at least got like 18 years. We got to keep this rocking and rolling. So when they get older, they're like, yeah, this is still cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the main point across is we do not fear our kids will hate this when they get older. We know that they will appreciate their childhood. At least we hope so. I guess time will tell. But we feel like with the goals of love, appreciation, honesty, transparency, those kind of things with our children is what's going to make this rock solid when they get older. And then we will just appreciate whatever it is they decide to do.
That's right.
So like she said, throw your stories down in the comments. Let's encourage each other, because I know some of y'all are probably thinking the same thing. I know a lot of us, we like, you know, it doesn't matter what anyone thinks. We're going to do this anyways. Well, when it's our kids, it matters, right?
Yeah.
It matters a little. We don't want to just throw them to the side of the curb and say, whatever, this is how we're living.
Yeah.
So we love you all, and I think that's where we're going to wrap this bad boy up today.
I think so. We love y'all.
Until the next one.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.